Hey, Aquarius. Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here. Excited to bring to you your end of the year reading. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Aquarius, where are you currently at? Where have you been and where are you going? You're starting off here with card 41, a higher view. Now you have the wings here, Aquarius. This is all about you gaining a new perspective, gaining a higher perspective, and letting go of assumptions, letting go of judgments, letting go of criticism and shame, whatever you have been dealing with on a lower level. This is you rising up and letting it all go. And what better time of year than the last month of the year, December 2024. This is you rising above the fray. And whenever this card comes up, I think of Sebastian, I think is the boy's name, and Valcor in the Never-Ending Story. And I feel like some of you may have been going round and round, repeating a cycle. And this is the time to really rise up and see this cycle from a new perspective, to be able to get a different take on it and rise above it, even find solutions and how to not repeat a pattern that has been ongoing. So you're exactly where you are supposed to be. You're spreading those beautiful wings of yours here, Aquarius, and you have this sense of clarity, this sense of deep inner knowing that you can trust. The owl is about wisdom. The owl has experience, and I feel like you now are able to take that experience and really turn it into some profound wisdom. Now, 2024 in a nutshell for you, Roots of Abundance, card 2. This is all about building roots regarding your stability, regarding your security. So there may have been a lot of foundational shifts and changes that you've gone through, maybe even in 2023 into 2024. But I feel like you've laid down some really strong, solid roots for yourself, for your family. This could be financially and even health-wise. Because when the Roots card shows up, I feel like there's great expansion here. Great expansion. And this also has to do with family, your family lineage, your family history. This could be healing around patterns that have to do with maybe your family. You may have even moved in 2024. There could have been a move, or you may have laid your roots down elsewhere in your career. You're getting deep though. 2024 was a deep year for you, Aquarius. And now that Pluto has entered Aquarius for the next 2 decades, the next 19 years, I feel like you're really building upon something quite abundant here for you in your life, because 2025, we have the time machine, card 3. The time machine is taking a look at history and saying, do we want history to repeat itself? Or is it time to break out of those inherited patterns? So conditioning here is what you are breaking out of. And this is profound, because what that does is it helps you, Aquarius, jump into a new timeline. What are timelines? They're choices. So you're going to make new choices that put you on a new trajectory. This could be a new place to live. It could be a new career, a new relationship. It could be new soul tribe, better health, whatever this is for you that maybe you've been even going through for quite some time, maybe since as long as you can remember. Maybe it was an inherited pattern from childhood. You're breaking out of it and you're jumping into a new timeline here. And the beautiful thing about this card is you can see the 12, the 1, the 2, the 3 are highlighted, but the other numbers tend to fade out. And what I'm getting for you, Aquarius, is right now, December 2024, all the way through March 2025, which March is actually the beginning of the astrological new year. It's when we enter Aries. And I feel like this is you really taking a look at those roots that you've planted. And I feel like the next 3 to 4 months for you are pivotal. The next 3 to 4 months, you're going to see these changes, the growth from the seeds that you have planted. You're going to see them bursting from the dirt. There's something quite profound for you in the first quarter of 2025. So I'm excited to see what that is for you. Now we're going to dive into your year currently 2024. We'll do a little bit of sneak peeking into 2025, but Aquarius, stay tuned for next week's reading. I'll be putting out a yearly forecast with a month by month breakdown of the year. So let's take a look and see, what does 2024 look like for you in a nutshell? Let's look at 2024 in a nutshell. Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is new home and hearth. And like I said, there is something strong coming in around the home or around stability here for you. Travel, movement, getting out of situations that were very difficult, because what comes before the Six of Swords? The Five. The fives are challenges. The fives can bring conflict. There may have been a lot of uncertainty in a specific area of your life that you really had to work through in 2024. And the Six of Swords is better times ahead. So Aquarius, some of you are really excited to finally be able to spread your wings and break out of some sort of inherited patterns or conditioning that had kept repeating in your life. This is the final break free. Six of Swords is the quest or journey to healing and through healing. So the only way to get out of something was through it. And perhaps that's why it was delayed for so long, is because we don't always want to dive back into something that's been difficult, but sometimes that's what's necessary in order to come out on the other side. But I see here that you are coming out on the other side, Aquarius. You're coming out stronger than ever before. And the Stork reminds you that you have this healing and this hope for the future. This is also about trusting in the process. There is a new journey ahead, and it's quite exciting. So try not to cling to the old ways or the old patterns as you move into 2025. So there's a huge theme already coming up from just the few cards pulled around history, repeating itself, conditioning and patterns, and release, letting go. Because again, you've planted some seeds in the midst of doing a lot of the healing that you've been doing. And again, I feel like the seeds are breaking through the dirt. So it needed some sort of dirt, some sort of challenge that you've gone through in 2024 to finally grow and blossom. And that's what I see you doing here with the time machine. You're saying, okay, I have an opportunity to move forward and to jump into a new timeline. And I feel like you are about to take it, because this is the card of quest. It's the card of moving on, cutting ties, leaving behind the old. So 2024 in a nutshell, a lot of change, a lot of transformation. There may have been a lot of beautiful moments of harmony, of problem solving and responsibility that you've also tapped into, but I feel like you are excited to leave the past behind you because you went through a difficult journey. Whenever I see the Five of Swords or the presence of the Five of Swords, for me as a reader, it's not the Death card, it's not the Tower, it's not, those challenging, even the Seven of Swords, those aren't necessarily, yes, they can be big change, a big transformation, but it's that Five of Swords that really can be a mental mind muck, right? Mental mind muck is what we'll call it. And that can be a battle of the egos with another individual. It can be someone being taken advantage of. It can be revenge, and it could be winning at an unfair advantage or having a disadvantage here in some way. But I feel like that's what you are getting up out of with the Six of Swords here. Now, what are the lessons that you've learned in 2024? The Four of Pentacles, what to hang on to, what to let go of. The caterpillar here is all about, scarcity consciousness. It's about the fear of loss, right? The caterpillar has tons of resources, hence it having so many different legs. Now, I don't know if the caterpillar is the same, but if one leg, is dismembered, is it going to grow back? And it feels like there's something about using all of the resources that you have accumulated and acquired to help you move forward in your life, because this is material success. Some of you had dealt with a situation where there was either loss of finances, maybe even a loss of a job. This could be the loss of family. But the Four of Pentacles is rebuilding a sense of stability, whether it has to do with your money or your health or your home and family. But I feel like a part of you had lost a limb, and you're like, how can I still move on? But what you had really realized is that you have 12 other legs here that you may not have been using because you were focused on the one leg that you didn't have. And that's what I see has shifted and has changed. You're not focusing necessarily on what you don't have. You're focusing on what's right in front of you and the abundance that is available to you. That's a big lesson to learn. The Five of Swords and Five of Pentacles, that can be very challenging because the fives are challenging. Now, I'm not seeing them here for you yet. So it tells me that you found a lot of solutions. You've found a lot of ways to work through conflict and strife. So kudos to you, Aquarius, using that brilliant mind of yours, staying logical and analytical, and finding ways to not repeat that cycle. Now let's take a look at relationships and emotions as you wind down 2024. You have the Ten of Swords here, the hyena. This is about betrayal. This is about deep wounds. The Ten of Swords isn't fun. It's the energy of being stabbed in the back or just hitting a rock bottom. But I always say when you hit rock bottom, there's only one direction from there on out, and it's up, right? And this is about recovery. So when it comes to your relationships and your emotions, there is a new beginning coming in here because endings bring in new beginnings. And when you see the Ten of Swords showing up, I feel like you have recovered from maybe denial, recovered from that victimhood or some sort of trauma or trauma response that had taken over a big chunk of your life. And you've taken accountability to heal that part of you. And that's such a profound thing because when you heal, everyone heals. Aquarius, when you heal, the world heals. And even though this may have been unfair, maybe it was something that, you wouldn't have wished upon even your enemy, right? I feel like you had to go through this experience to evolve in such a way where you'll never be the same Aquarius again, but it's not to shut you down. It's not to close your heart. If anything, it's the exact opposite, for you to expand your consciousness, for you to expand that heart center and forgive and recover and love after loss, right? And to turn pain into gain. And this feels like it's a bittersweet moment. And I feel like you are releasing heavy pains and emotions that you've gone through in 2024 and maybe prior. But I feel like you are saying, I'm honest. I know who I am. I'm being genuine with my emotions and my feelings, and all relationships from here on out moving forward will be based in truth and authenticity. So mote it be. And that's where you're at with your emotions. Now, career, work, finances. How are you ending the year? Ace of Swords. This is good. Some of you are killing it here in finances. You're doing good here. There's some sort of new truth coming in. So this is a really beautiful time for you to expand upon your thinking. You're creative. You have that expansive mindset that really helps you out when it comes to your career, work, and finances, Aquarius. So this is a conquest. You are on this journey, and I feel like you're on this journey with discernment. This is a clear vision. Look at that hawk. When that hawk sets its vision on its prey, it swoops in with discernment, right? And it doesn't let distractions stop him. He doesn't stop midway in the air and say, oh, sorry, I decided I don't want that mouse. That hawk, when he sets its mind to what he wants, he swoops in and he goes for it. There's no distractions. There's no backing off. There's no second guessing, right? This is it. It's all or nothing here. And so the Ace of Swords coming up is a solution. If you've been having any sort of career, work, or financial issues, you're finding solutions here that can help you move into 2025 and have a more abundant year, a more prosperous year. I also see here that there is authenticity. You are being asked to stay authentic to your vision. This is your vision. Don't let other people come in and try to taint that or try to take it away from you. If you see another hawk coming in, don't focus on that hawk. Focus on your vision, because you have this clear view. You have this conquest that you will succeed if you stay focused. You're taking a look back at 2024 and you're saying, okay, what has worked? What has taken a lot of my time or distracted me? Where have I maybe miscommunicated or been overly logic? Maybe I've been thinking too much into it. This is about you finding that balance in that mind of yours and being able to cut through the fluff, cut through the barriers to find solutions that can benefit you when it comes to your work. And I also see that a lot of you are maybe working with technology. You could be working online. This may have to do with communications. It may have to do with projects and deadlines. I feel like you're going to hit those projects and deadlines. I feel like there's going to be maybe a clear focus where you need to cut out some specific distractions, but I feel like you are definitely ending the year on a high note. When you have the Ace of Swords, this is finding solutions to any of those challenges that have taken place prior. So Ace of Swords is a great energy to have for career, work, and finances. So let's dive into health. Health and well-being. Where are you at currently? Health and well-being for Aquarius, please. We have the Octopus, the King of Cups. Some of you are focused on the heart, maybe on your circulation, tentacles. This could be limbs, fingers, legs, right? It could be what hangs off of us. There's something here about your emotions. Okay, I am an Aquarian moon, so this can be about control over emotions, and that's what you are getting a grasp of with that Ten of Swords. It feels like you're able to control your emotions, but you're not stifling them, Aquarius. You're letting them come out when the time is appropriate, and you are working with them, but you're not shoving them in a little shoebox underneath the bed and saying, I'll deal with you at a later time. No, you're taking a look at your emotions here when they come up. I feel like you are being compassionate and kind and loving to yourself. And this is a calm sense of clarity. These creatures are very, very profound. And it's bringing me back to an image that I one time seen online where there was an octopus that had wrapped itself up on a pregnant belly, right? And I feel like they're such in-tuned creatures. They feel energy. They have this beautiful, divine, intuitive sense about them. And for some of you, you have those same energies, right? You're very divine, you're very intuitive, and you reach a lot of people, just like those tentacles wrap around, the things that it needs to survive, but also the things that it feels a calling towards. So for some of you, maybe because that image is popping back up in my mind, maybe there's something here about birthing of a new cycle for you when it comes to health and well-being. For some of you, this is finding ways to calm and reduce anxiety. The King of Cups is also taking a look at, maybe a doctor, getting an opinion here, maybe a second opinion. This can be talking to a therapist. This can be finding ways to take care of your health. And I see you doing what you need to do. I mean, you couldn't have got a better card here when it comes to health and well-being, because there are people here that are backing you up, and some of you could have more than one resource with the 8 tentacles there. So it could be that you have a nutritionist, you have a shaman, you have a soul coach, you have a doctor. You know, you could have many people that are here on your healing journey, but also you have people in your spiritual world as well. So let's tap into your spiritual world for a moment. Let's look at spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Let's look at your spiritual energy, Aquarius, and inner fulfillment. All right, we're going to take those, keep them over here. Spiritual energy, we have the 9 of Cups. Look at that. There's the puffer fish. Spiritually, you are in a really good position, believe it or not. Your inner fulfillment is feeling satisfaction. You are feeling inner fulfilled at this time, or fulfilled, I should say, when it comes to the heart. You could be surrounding yourself with family, surrounding yourself with practices that help you feel like you're not alone, because you're not, right? We often disconnect from source energy when we go through challenging times, but oftentimes that's when we really find our way back to source energy. So there's a little bit of it feels like a little bit of a conundrum as we disconnect, but again, it's through that disconnection where we find ourselves back to that place of inner light, inner truth. And the puffer fish reminds you that there's a wish here. There's a wish that you are becoming a vibrational match for. And I feel like this is something that's happening for you in 2025. Okay, that's what your higher self wants you to know. There's a wish here that is really fulfilling you emotionally, spiritually, and on many different levels, because I see the Ace of Swords here. So clarity, you have clarity now that maybe you didn't have prior, because you were in the muck of healing, and we're always healing, right? We're always healing. But I feel like you're proud. You're proud of how far you've come on your journey. You have other people that are very proud of you and how far you've come on your journey. People who may be here in the present, people who may have crossed over. I feel like you are puffing up at this time, right? As the puffer fish is. That puffer fish is puffing up, not out of ego, but a feeling of, wow, I have come so far on my spiritual journey. And it reminds me of Dory, right? Finding Nemo. Sometimes we're not really lost. It is the path to finding our own selves, right? Isn't it Tolkien who says, I'm not sure who says, don't quote me, not all those who wander are lost. But I feel like you know that life is a spiritual journey. You understand that you go through challenges and highs and lows, but spiritually, you are exactly where you are meant to be. And your inner fulfillment is looking good. Even if you don't have some of the things externally yet that you would like, you realize that it's not those external things that fulfill you. It's not that external thing, that relationship or that job or whatever it may be. You realize that happiness comes from within. It's about a choice, choosing to be happy. And that is part of what shifts your vibration to become that match for what it is externally that you do want. And that's what you are understanding here. So this is beautiful. Aquarius, I'm so very proud of you. Let's take a look at your aspirations and your goals over the next 8 months. Or 8 months, okay, 12 months. What is the aspiration and goals? Actually, before we jump into that, let's look at what you should focus on right now. Let's look at what you should focus on right now. We actually have the 8 of Cups, which actually is the 8-month card. So perhaps that's why this is coming up, the 8 months. So it could be that maybe over the last 8 months, maybe 8 months ago, or the 8th month, could be August for some of you, was significant. But this is about abandonment, escapism, cutting ties. The 8 of Cups is my Eat, Pray, Love card. If you've ever read the book or watched the movie with Julia Roberts, it looks like she has the picture perfect life on paper. but it's not stimulating to her. She knows that there's not growth. She's not fully happy. And other people may look at her like, you're crazy. Why do you want to end that marriage? You're so great together. But they don't know the intricate workings of your relationship. They don't know how your job makes you feel, right? They don't know that you were okay not having children, or, going and traveling the world instead of having that sense of stability. Whatever it is that you want to do that puts you on a path that may be unique, that's about you listening to that piece of you. And sometimes that does require you cutting out or cutting off situations or people that, again, they don't help you. They're not helping you anymore. So it can be leaving something or someone behind in order to grow. So I feel like that's what you are focusing on at this time. And I feel like the 8th month is significant for some of you because it feels like August was a turning point. Maybe it was that 8-8 portal where something within you really shifted. Maybe that was a month where you had to deal with some sort of abandonment. Maybe you had to walk away. But right here, right now, there's personal growth. There's discovery. There's independence. And Spirit wants you to focus on that quest for whatever that something deeper, that something more meaningful is, because there's a new path ahead here for you. So what does that new path look like? What are the aspirations and goals over the next 12 months? You have the Chariot. This is travel. Some of you are going to be traveling. You're going to maybe move. You could be taking off in a business or a creative endeavor or idea. This is victory, and it's raw power. Whew. Aquarius, get ready because you are lit. You are moving up out of something and you are going in with full force ahead. But you've been preparing for this. You've been preparing ever since, if you think of a colt, if you think of a baby horse, just coming out of the womb, it starts to walk almost immediately, right? But it's wobbly. And you had to go through something in life that you were unfamiliar with and you may have felt a little bit wobbly with. But as the years went by, you strengthened yourself, you strengthened your muscles, and you took care of yourself, and you started to, learn what was challenging and what, was pleasurable. And I feel like now you've come up to a point in your life where you've built muscle. And I mean muscle in the brain, right? Muscle in the mind, muscles spiritually speaking. So this is metaphorically, of course, but you've been training is what I'm getting at here. And so now 2024 has led you to really jump into this beautiful new journey with the Chariot leading the way. And the intuition, that's part of the Chariot, is an intuitive knowing. It's Cancerian energy of letting your emotional drive move forward. And as I always say, use the head to lead with the heart. Use the head to lead with the heart. And that is what you are doing here. When the Chariot is in charge, right? Large and in charge here, that's what you're doing, is you're using the head to lead with the heart. And when you do that, when you can combine those two energies, victory and triumphant success is yours. Let's take a look at the motivating energy behind the Chariot. What's behind the Chariot here? The Hermit. This is interesting because this is ascension. Your soul is evolving. You've done a dark night of the soul, Aquarius. You've done deep introspective work. You've gone through something where maybe you had to take yourself out of the world, take yourself out of a relationship, out of a job, right? Or just hermit. You had to go inward. Okay, maybe you still did all those physical things, but emotionally and spiritually you had to go within, and maybe you shut off certain people or you stopped doing things that you at one time used to engage in. But you're coming out of your hermit shell, and that is what's driving you, because this is illumination. You're ready to shine your light again. You're ready to rejoin the world in a new way, because while you were in that hermit shell, the snow leopard was born. While you were in that hibernation, right? The snow leopard here is advanced. This is introspection. You took that, you're taking what you've learned while you've done that healing, and now you're putting it out there. Some of you could even be moving in a direction where you're teaching, helping, or healing others. Okay, you could be an inspirational leader of some sort. You could be feeling very enlightened, where you want to share your journey, where you want to come out of hibernation, where you want to move forward. Some of you, this is an actual move. If you haven't done that in 2024, this could definitely be shining your unique light and gifts and skills and talents, like putting them out there. And 2025 is going to give you that opportunity to showcase your talents, to show the world what you're made of. Not just the world, but a soul reminder of what you've come here to do and who you've come here to become. So this is really profound. I'm loving this for you here, Aquarius. Let's take a look at any challenges. What are any challenges that could show up for you either at this time or as we're navigating, especially in the first few months, because you have that timeline and there's going to be big choices and decisions made at the beginning of the year that is going to dictate where that chariot goes. Let's take a look at any potential challenges. I mean, that's a lot. Do we want all those, Spirit? Okay, I'm getting 2 and 2. So that's going to be your final question. Challenges, the Gator. We have the Page of Cups and we have the Camel, Page of Pentacles. Okay, so double pages showing up as potential challenges. Children, potentially children. For some of you, this is communication. Like, how can we communicate where we don't sound condescending or we don't sound better than, or how can we communicate with those that aren't fully evolved, aren't fully awakened? Because sometimes the pages are about communication, and that can be difficult, especially if you've ascended and you're working with people who are still working on ascension. That can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. Now, this is also a quest for wisdom. It's abundance and it's conserving energy with the Page of Pentacles. Now, when this Page of Pentacles is showing up as a challenge, we're going to read it as if it's in the reverse. So this can certainly be reflecting on commitments and considering maybe an additional path or education. Okay, the Page of Pentacles can be about staying loyal to what you are committed to. Time management, that could be a challenge. Staying consistent with your dreams, that could be a challenge. And conserving your energy, not burning the candle at both ends, right? Just like the camel stores the water in the hump, right? This is about you conserving your energy and not using it all up in the first 3 months, right? This is about you going with the flow, because sometimes the chariot can lack direction even. It can be impulsive and it can kind of veer off of the path, and sometimes it veers into other lanes. So it's very important that you stay clear on, where you're going and not to let distractions come in, which we talk about. That's a big part of your lessons. Not letting distractions come in and pull you into old patterns. Maybe those old patterns are, not managing time as effectively, or it could be, burning the candle at both ends, or maybe even fear of imperfection. Fear of imperfection can cause one to stall or stop progress. Meaning, well, it's not perfect, so therefore I'm not going to move forward. You know the saying, Aquarius, progress over perfection. And I feel like that could be a challenge for some of you. You have the Gator here, which is the Page of Cups. This is coming up for air, right? This is artistry and intuition. It's surprising insights. So I feel like you have a lot of ideas coming through, but then we need to ground them. Then we need to utilize the energy of the Page of Pentacles and say, okay, we can come up for air. We're going to reserve our energy and we are going to have this abundant harvest, but we have to stay on this quest for wisdom, because even when you have wisdom, there's always a little more to be gained. We're never done learning. And That's showing up here. And the age of Aquarius, which you are Aquarian energy, there's always something to learn. There's going to be new things coming in, new changes worldwide, globally, in our careers. Some of you may want to dive into or look into AI, or maybe you already have a bit. For others of you, this could be a platform online. This could be learning through YouTube videos. This could be, taking an additional class on maybe money management or time management. I feel like it's important for you to focus on your skills because you're advancing here, but you want to make sure that you are driving that chariot in the best possible way and maintaining speed so you don't veer off track and end up over here, in the ditch, okay? So where are you headed in 2025? Okay, we have the moon and the justice. The moon and the justice, this is about truth. It's about natural law. Justice could also be a lot of balance and fairness. And the moon card here says you're seeing through the shadows. Absolutely. The moon is intuition. The moon is you trusting your intuition to lead the path, just like the owl. It's not scared of the nighttime because that's where it thrives best. And I see some of you could even be improving your sleep, your dreams, your psychic powers, your intuition. That's really opening up for you. And you're working with the shadows, which I like to see because it means you're not running from them. You could be working with other people's shadows. You could be helping guide them. As I said earlier, this could also be you taking your shadows and turning them into the light. You're illuminating them in some way, which brings you justice. The justice card could even be legal situations if you've been dealing with them. I feel like there is a deep knowing around these things, maybe even before they happen. Some of you could work in the legal system, but this is also about balance and fairness and doing the right thing. It's staying in integrity. It's staying in accountability. And it's retribution. So I feel like there's good karma coming your way. Absolutely good karma coming your way with that chariot. Some of you could even be getting a new vehicle, okay, or traveling to a new place that feels more aligned with who you have become. There could be a new job opportunity that feels more balanced and more aligned on an intuitive, spiritual level. And you're able to see it now. You're able to see through the shadows. That's what it says there on the moon card. Because you've come out of it. You faced it head on. A lot of you went through a dark night of the soul. And because you've been there, you can recognize it. And you can help others, including yourself, whenever challenges arise. You can bring balance to them here. Some of you may be called to do some acts of humanitarian work. Okay, you could feel like you want to volunteer or help through some sort of natural disasters. You could start a YouTube channel being an inspirational leader or a tarot reader or, someone who helps uplift the frequency of the planet in some way. I feel like you're definitely being called. Some of you, there's maybe a trip or Africa could be significant here. I'm getting like lions and elephants and I'm seeing like a safari. So maybe you're taking a safari cruise or you may live in Africa or perhaps that's a place that you will visit. But this can also be, outside of a comfort zone. If you're like, Mel, I'm not going to go to Africa. I'm just going to see an elephant, in a zoo. But I feel like this is you stepping outside your comfort zone in 2025. And it does say here, righted wrongs. So some sort of wrongs that have happened in the past will be righted in 2025. That is what I have for you, Aquarius. I'm loving your guys' reading. Stay tuned for next week's yearly reading where I'll do a 12-month forecast for each month and we'll dive into some of these areas more in depth. If you like the reading, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. Lots of love to you, Aquarius.